All right, so we're back with another video for you guys, another reaction video. So today we're going to be reacting to CJ So Cool's latest video. But before we do so, I wanted to talk about, I'm sure you guys all seen other videos on other channels. The Tea Room had dropped the video today a couple hours ago and talked about CJ So Cool's best friend. Now, I don't know if this guy is CJ So Cool's best friend, mentor, coach, or whatever, but if you look him up on CJ So Cool's Instagram account, he is listed as part of management. So I guess he is CJ So Cool's manager. I'm assuming that's, again, if you guys go on CJ So Cool's Instagram, it has his @ handle, his IG handle right there, management. So I guess he must be CJ So Cool's manager. I don't know how CJ So Cool hires these people. It is pretty crazy to me, folks. I mean, he said Lexi took $300,000 from him or something like that, and now he's got this manager. And I've been known this information. I kind of mentioned it in several previous reaction videos, but the Tea Room, I guess, decided to drop it today. But this guy, if you actually look him up, especially on LinkedIn, it says here real estate broker for this company right here, Metropolitan, and it says the date range is 2001 to 2005. So this is the criminal indictment paperwork. Now, like I said, I already knew this stuff, but I was like, let me just wait. Let me see if other channels are actually going to talk about it. And like the Tea Room has a bigger impact, obviously. I mean, she dropped that video like I said, a couple hours ago, and already has like 30,000 views or something. So you can see this guy's name right here, Greg Wings, right? This is his full name, aka G Money, because that's what CJ called him, right? He said that's G Money. That's big boss man, right? That's the guy that I guess is gonna fix up his grandmother's house, or I guess he has connections or networked or whatever. So this paperwork is from a while ago. This is like a decade ago, and you see his name here again. This is 92 pages long. Jeez. So I don't even think we're gonna go through this in today's video. I just wanted to mention it. And like I said, I mean, you probably already heard about it today on other channels like the T channel. I think there's a few other channels that mentioned it, as well as BSC TV. Shout out to BSC TV. So I'm trying to skip around to see if we can get a piece, a part here where it just refers to G Money, because I think this is all like just kind of like background information to tell you who are all the defendants involved in it's just way too much. I mean, we're only on the 6th page, and there's 92 pages, folks. So it's probably going to take me a while to actually go through this. And I also want to react to the video that he dropped like 2 days ago, which he changed the title to. Like, he changed that title like 3-4 times. So I don't even know what the title of the video is now, because when he first dropped it, he said, is CJ So Cool worthy of a high-value woman? And I think he changed that title like twice now or 3 times. So by the time you guys watch this video, who knows? It might be a different title. Even if you watch this video a week from now, it might be a totally different title. So let's see here. We do see Greg here again mentioned. Seems like Greg was really involved. Now, the Tea Room shared the sentencing, but this is actually the indictment, which has a little bit more details. So here goes. So we got, I guess we got a little bit of the meat of the story here, as it refers to this particular defendant, Greg Wings, aka G Money. So it says G Money used companies including G&L Holdings Group Inc., where he was a partner, and Metropolitan. If you guys remember, I showed you guys earlier on LinkedIn. You guys can go on LinkedIn. You can check it out yourself. And on LinkedIn, you'll even see a picture of him. So it's not like, it looks like, everything looks like it's the same guy. All right, everything is connecting to the same guy. Go on LinkedIn. I showed you guys earlier. I probably should have scrolled up, but you guys can go check it out yourself. and you'll see the same company, the similar date range. So yeah, he was a partner in Metropolitan, which he owned, to receive payments totaling over $2.8 million for the recruitment of straw borrowers to obtain mortgage loans for which they were not qualified to purchase property at inflated prices, to pay other recruiters to make straw borrower down payments. Defendant Wings attended the closing of mortgage loans for many of his straw borrowers. Defendant Wings also paid to obtain mortgage loans for which he was not qualified to purchase a property at an inflated price. Damn, CJ. What is wrong with CJ? But who the hell is managing CJ? Like, CJ, it seems like his whole inner circle is just like all jacked up. It's like the whole inner circle, like, that is crazy. His and his wife's name, Defendant Wings and Metropolitan, appeared as the selling broker on a number of purchase and sale agreements and amendments, although not licensed as either a real estate broker or agent. Yeah, we definitely got to actually look through this. This is crazy. Like I told you, this is like 90-some pages. But I wanted to go ahead and actually check out his last video about high-value man, because I don't know about too many high-value men that have like this kind of crap in their inner circle. Like, this is embarrassing. This is like big time embarrassing. Like, it's literally one thing after another, after another, after another. This is crazy, folks. I mean, Batman Kevo also has a history, and he was part of CJ's circle. Lexi, according to CJ, I was going through the comment section, which I'm going to share with you guys in just a sec, because his supporters are so brainwashed. There is no doubt about it, folks. People that follow CJ So Cool or support him are so brainwashed. I don't know. It's got to be like some kind of drug they're on. I really don't know. It's crazy. This is definitely crazy. But let's check this out.
Video about this, but this will be the first video, and I will kind of like create a playlist for you guys to come straight to my men's health videos right here on YouTube. So all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button for more content like this. But for now, let's jump right into it. To me, being a high value man is very different from what many of you may think. Some of us think that having millions of dollars make you a high value man. Some of us think that social media influence can create that same persona of being a high value man. But then there's some of us like me who know that yes, those things are necessary when you're.
I don't know why in the world he's talking about high value man. I thought this man was a family man. Like, his channel's turning into an open buffet now. Like, you can find all kinds of content on there now. I thought you were a family man, a family channel with kids. Like, now you're preaching high value man, and what kind of high value man has all these people around him? Like, this is crazy. And then he posted this. He said, for the record, please stop thinking she was connecting me with business deals, because every person she's ever introduced me to either scammed me or used me for free promo. I never earned a penny. Sir, you told us that. Like, hold on, man. What is wrong with you? Are you like, this is all like a psychological game? You told us that she put you in positions. She opened doors to you to meet millionaires and billionaires and successful people. That's what you said. Like, this is what I mean. It's got to be the people that actually support this guy are actually brainwashed as well. Like, this is what I said. You guys got to snap out of it, folks. You got to snap out of it. You got to actually use your brain. You got to do some critical thinking. All right? Use your brain, folks. Stop getting dumbed down by these social media influencers. That is what CJ told us. He said Lexi was obviously better than royalty because she put him in a position to meet millionaires and billionaires and network and all that crap. And now he's saying, oh, please stop saying that. Stop saying what? You put it out there. And now you're saying Lexi's the, like, then he said he wasn't going to bash her, and then he's bashing her, exposing her. So you'll see a little bit later, because some people are like, this is this brainwashed followers talking about I cherry pick the comments that I want to put up in video. No, I'm actually posting other people's opinion. I'm putting spotlight on the people in his comment section. So this way you guys get to see what other people are saying, other opinions. And no, I don't cherry pick just because I post like I don't scroll like up and down. So I figured I'm going to change it up in today's video. I'm actually just going to scroll, through different, his last two videos. These are the comment sections on his last two videos. And then I noticed that if anything, he actually cherry picks who he responds to. Like, he only he only responds to comments that are actually supporting his agenda. The people that criticize him, which you'll see a lot of, like, he doesn't really respond to. He might like respond to a few of them, like a couple that I can count on one hand, but most of the ones that he actually does respond to are the ones that actually support his agenda, which kind of makes sense. I mean, people normally just go with the side that actually is on their side, with the people on their side, and actually respond to those. But it just kind of looks all like, it kind of looks like one-sided. You know, I would think you would spend time and actually look at the people criticizing you or things that you have said, because a lot of it is just contradicting itself at this point. This is why a lot of people, you'll notice a lot of people in the comment section will say he's a narcissist or a manipulator, things of that nature. But I think it's actually karma. I think karma found its way back. Like, he was bashing royalty nonstop for the last 2 months, created music dissing her, created merch dissing her. And then it looked like people in his own circle were just like taking, like, they were just taking notes, you know, trying to avoid things that maybe royalty did so that they can enhance, while they were actually taking money out of his pocket. Like, according to him, this is according to him, that Lexi took $300,000 in 6 months. That's crazy. $300,000. So that means you spent more on Lexi than on fixing your grandmother's house, and your grandmother actually took care of you. Well, I guess that's kind of relative, depending on how you want to look at it. He says she took care of him, then he said she didn't. So at the end of the day, you spent $300,000 on a complete stranger of a woman. I guess it's not. I guess it's an exchange for services rendered at this point. I don't know. It could be a business transaction. Who knows? But I don't know. Why is he talking about high value? Like, this isn't the characteristics of a high value man. High value man don't make this level of mistakes. I mean, we're talking about like back to back to back. This is crazy.
We're talking about being high value individual, but there is way more to the subject than just money and fame. Clearly, I have been successful for some time on YouTube. Whether everyone wants to agree or not, YouTube is a platform where you can actually create success for yourself and stardom. And a lot of people have become way bigger than me, but for the most part.
So hold on a second. This is kind of part of my first impression watching the video. You guys are listening to it, but I'm sure you guys already seen the video. But why did you hire all these people, like especially the camera guy? I mean, his last couple of videos, especially the ones in Mexico, were pretty good. Like cinema, the way he kind of captured the content, like kind of like a bird's eye view. But now it's just like, it looks like it's like a step down. Like, you're actually just sitting on the steps of your the staircase in your house, well, in his rented house. It just doesn't look like there's a whole lot of creativity with the videography. Like, it seems like this is real strategic. Like, he's doing this, at least this particular video seems to be a little bit more strategic. And even the last one was also strategic, when he actually claimed that he broke up with Lexi, which initially I thought, you know, might have been fake. Because again, when you have a guy that's done nothing but pranks on his channel, a family channel, and then decides to switch it over, like now he wants to preach like high value man and relationship advice and shit like that. It's just like a completely different type of content. It's like a totally different type of style of video recording. Like, normally when you see him record content previously, he's holding the camera, he's walking around, moving around, you know, he shows different facial emotions, different tones. But now when it's like a sit down and it's like a camera's focused in a certain angle, the background music kind of like goes along with the theme of the video, like all that stuff seems a little bit more strategic. It seems like kind of like if you watch a documentary or something like that on TV, like they do that kind of content. It's like that storyboard is set for a certain purpose. It's not like for a regular vlog. So it's just like there's so many changes when it comes to CJ So Cool, and some people don't like changes. Like his supporters, I'm sure this is why this video probably only got like a certain amount of views, because people are like, damn, there's way too many changes when it comes to CJ So Cool, and now we getting people exposing him. Like, it is crazy.
I consider myself to be big as well on YouTube. And of course, my bank account, it speaks for itself. I live the way I want to live on a daily basis, and no one really can tell me what I can't do. And those are some of the things that come with being a high value man, but not only the things that you need to being that. So for the first thing I want to touch on is using anger as a weapon. Any high-valued individual, you could be a woman or a man, any high-valued person or being should know better than to use anger as a tool to voice your opinions or to lash out at others. I, for the most part, have been through so many different experiences where I've learned to hold back my anger and just try to listen.
Come on.
All right, so CJ is talking about anger, right? I guess that's like, one of the qualities of a high-value man on how to control your anger. Hold on, man. Hold on. Time out. So recently with that whole pickup and drop off with Royalty and the twins, when you pulled out that gun, is that not an anger issue? Pulling out a gun, a handgun, or a weapon, a deadly weapon, a weapon with bullets that can actually, end other people's life. So that's not an anger issue. And that was pretty recent. Like, I'm just trying to understand things. I thought you said you can control your anger, or I guess high-value men can control their anger. Like, this is the problem when you switch from a family man to a high-value man. I mean, you could be a high-value man as a family man, but you shouldn't be preaching anything about a high-value man. You should just keep it the way it is and have people perceive you the way they want to perceive you. But when you start talking about things like this, and I feel like he might be doing it to try to switch his content around. Like, he might want to switch or transition from a family man, or maybe diversify his content. Who knows? I'm just giving you guys my opinion, my reaction to all of this. But you're saying that you are able to control your anger now. So why didn't you control your anger when it came to that firearm situation, when you pulled that handgun out? You were in no imminent danger. You could have easily exited the scene, right? I get it if there was immediate danger to you, but the folks that were there that you claim were goons or whatever, they were quite a distance away. They were like 20, 30 feet away. And if you were in such if they were like literally up in his face or like a 5 feet distance, I would get it. But it was no danger. All right. And then the other thing is, because Royalty's brother, was actually recording it. If you guys saw the clip, you would know that Van was the one that recorded that viral clip. CJ turns around, I think it was like towards the end of the video, and says to Van, we are all family. So you acknowledge we're all family to them, but you're putting a gun on them, and no one else had a gun. So if anything, you could have probably killed one of them. I don't know. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It doesn't seem like a high-value man that actually knows how to control his anger issues.
And for those of you that's watching that already have known me for a long time, you know that I used to go through these trials and tribulations with Nike, one of my baby mothers, and then we were able to stop all of that, and now we're like friends, right? Well, that only happened once I was able to stop using my anger as a weapon against her. And every time she did something I didn't like, I used to make a video, or I used to lash out, or some type of media post. I don't do that anymore. So that was...
You don't do that anymore? Like, come on, man. Are you living in like a third person or something? Are you recording this in a third person? You just literally did that with Royalty. You were posting all kinds of crap on Instagram. You just literally posted something about Lexi. It's like, and then you painted the picture about Lexi that she was such a wonderful, perfect type of woman, and she does it better in every way. But now you're saying that you're basically labeling her indirectly as a gold digger, that she took all this money from you. She didn't bring any value. Everyone that she really brought around you, they just used you. So yeah, I mean, although you are exposing the relationship, but it's kind of too late. And that type of posting is a classification of what you just said that you don't do. It's like, sometimes I feel like, is this guy like, does he just say things to say things, or he actually understands what he's saying? I don't know. I'm thinking this man is totally lost. Like, I think he became so successful. He has so much money. It's almost like, I feel like CJ So Cool is almost like somebody, like a regular person that just became a millionaire overnight. Like somebody that wins the lottery and then instantly accumulates so much money that they don't even know what they're doing. That's kind of like how I feel about CJ So Cool, because the things he says is like, even what he's saying now, he's like, oh, I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. You just did all that stuff with Royalty. You just created a diss song. You just created all kinds of clothing merch to diss your own ex. So what message were you trying to put out there? Like, what are you talking about? Now he's trying to play, you see how he says his baby mother now. Like, he doesn't use, Charlene. He stopped using certain keywords when referring to royalty, because now the fire is coming from all directions. Now it's Lexi. Now it's people that were apparently part of his inner circle going on other channels discussing his previous relationships or things that I guess he didn't want other people to know. And even Bandman Kevo posted something on there saying, well, if you thought that was me exposing him or sharing secrets, I don't want to shock you guys. I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along those lines. I'm sure you guys can easily find it. Nothing But the Truth, shout out to her. And BSC TV, they actually posted the actual things that Bandman Kevo posted. But most of you guys know this by now. I mean, if you've been keeping up with this drama, it's like CJ created all this drama for views and clicks, but somehow it's kind of turned its way back to him. It's like karma, it's crazy.
It was like the first steps of me learning how to stop utilizing my anger as a weapon. And then I tried to implicate that into my relationship with my my now newest ex-girlfriend, Lexi. And you can ask her, I've never lashed out at her ever. We've never fought physically. I've never touched her at all. And even the small, probably 2 arguments that we've ever had in a year, I've only raised my voice once, and that was because I literally was fed up of her not listening. But that wasn't me using anger as a weapon. That was me trying to use my voice to be heard, because sometimes women, they have it in their mind that what they're talking about is more important, and it can be. But as a high-valued individual, we are always thinking that what we have to say is more important because it's our program that we're trying to get you to join. So to touch onto that program I'm talking about, for instance, me, because I can only speak about myself, even though I see a lot of things that happen. For me, my program is simple. Can you add value to what I have going on, and can you benefit me without irritating me? Like, my program is very simple. Like, if your program is a 100-page dictionary, then that is crazy, right? Your program should be anywhere from a 1 to 10-page letter that you can submit to your significant other, and they can go by those as like a commandment-style rule book for the relationship, right? Well, I tried to do that, and since it didn't work, I'm not going to say that that doesn't work. All I'm going to say is that that person may not have fit the criteria for that program. So what I did was I removed myself from that situation instead of staying in a situation that wasn't unhealthy for me. It wasn't like it was unhealthy for me, but it just wasn't right. So this video is kind of for you guys that feel like right now you're probably in a situation that you just know you don't feel comfortable in, but you really don't know how to separate yourself from it. And that is actually keeping you from being a high-valued individual. Because if you're in a relationship and it's not 100-100, it's kind of 75-25 or even 50-50, you're messing up. Everything should be 100-100. It should be 200% in a relationship. And when you have families, it should be extra hundreds added onto that. So for instance, I have 3 kids. If I have a female companion, then there should be a 500 score every single time, because everyone.
Why is he talking so damn fast? It's like almost like, this is what I said, like the way this video is captured. I'm sure, like if he hired a camera guy that's supposed to add value and enhance the quality of the content. And yeah, he definitely did enhance it when it came to the videos in Mexico. But somehow that all like got thrown out the window with these last couple of videos. Now they're like a little bit more focused. They're sit down types of videos. And it just leads me to believe, this is just my opinion, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It seems like maybe he's reading a script or something like that, because you can't be talking that fast and know like exactly what the agenda is about. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, it's like kind of rapping, unless you just have it naturally like that, which he might be just naturally the way he talks. That's just the way it is. That every word that comes out of his mouth is just, it syncs so beautifully to the rest of the story. I don't know, just things like that seem like red flags to me. But that's just me, folks.
Be devoting 100% of their energy to the cause. And my program, it just so happens to be that every last one of us can live a great life, experience our younger years in the best way possible, create memories on YouTube that can be watched by millions and by ourselves in the future, and all this being done in a positive light. So when you look at my program from outside, you might say, that's a great program. I would love to do that. And I would do the same. I would literally say the same thing if someone brought that program to me and it was actually efficient. That was just a little first thing.
What in the world is he talking about a program? Like, you're talking about humans here, man. You're talking about another woman. It's like, what is he talking about? A program and a list of commandments, and she's got to be like 50, 70%, 100%. It's like, You're not Bill Gates, you're not Mark Zuckerberg, and even those people with millions and millions of dollars. I mean, just look at Jeff Bezos. All right, CJ So Cool got you guys so fooled. It's crazy. It's actually mind-boggling how the brainwashing is going. And brainwashing might not be the right term, but it's just like people aren't like, they're not really using their own brain to critically think about what is actually being said here. Like, he wants you guys to feel like he's such a high value man, that he has a program that it's just like a turnkey thing that's going to work 100%. Even if you have a program, even if you have a plan, all that shit can backfire. You're dealing with people. People are unpredictable. People have, especially women. Women have emotions. Like, their emotions change all the time. They might love you today. They might hate you tomorrow. They might love you again next week. Like, this dude CJ's just like, cut it out, man. Like, you're not going to figure it out. There's no perfect relationship, all right? Even the billionaires have problems, all right? Jeff Bezos is the richest guy, one of the richest guy in the world, and he had to get a divorce. You know how many other billionaires and millionaires, multimillionaires, 20, 30, 100, 200 times way more richer than you that have issues, personal issues with women? Is like, what is this guy? Like, this guy, he thinks like, just because he's a YouTube influencer and has maybe like $10 million to his name or something like that like he's a god or something like that. Like, and then you guys watching this shit, consuming it, this is all like, it's all bullshit.
I wanted to touch on about not using anger as a weapon, and then of course I got a little drug away. But the next thing I wanted to touch on is self-awareness, because after I got shot, I realized how naive I was, and I really wasn't a high-valued individual because I really moved like a normal being. And I'm not trying to say that being a social media influencer or a movie star or a rapper or R&B singer or whatever you are, a producer or director, you can be a regular person and protect yourself and not be naive at the same time. But if you are a high valued individual and you aren't moving like this and you're being naive like I was, then you're only hurting yourself. Because when they broke into my house, I learned a lot of things. I learned that if I was so...
There we go. He's trying to like, oh, high value this and a normal this. Like, high value man and normal man, or normal people and high value people, they're all still human beings. All right, they still bleed the same, they still eat the same, they shit the same, they sleep the same way. The only difference is, yeah, you might have more money and you could classify yourself as a high value man because of the money status, or you might be just in a network or like a circle where there's other people that are actually influential and successful. But at the end of the day, there is no difference between a normal person and a high value person. There's no real difference. Like, you both are literally the same type of people. The only thing different is just the third party materialistic objects or the network. That's it. All right. CJ So Cool wants to glorify things, make it seem like a whole lot bigger than really it is. Like, this dude is just, and this is the problem, folks. And it's actually a problem that stems from the subscribers and supporters. Because you guys, like, if you take somebody like CJ So Cool or any other YouTuber or celebrity or whatever, they all started the exact same way like you. They all started like normal people. Even though he tries to kind of like take jabs at normal people, they all start as normal people. That's like kind of like stage one. And then the supporters and subscribers are the ones that add value by buying into the idea, buying into their success, buying into their dreams. So in a way, you guys are contributing to his success. You're building him up, all right? Just think of it like if CJ So Cool is like a building, all right? You start off with the foundation. Like, he starts off with this humble foundation where, you know, he aspires to be this and that. And then you, as the supporters, contributing your time watching his content, buying his merch, supporting him at meet and greets, you're building him up into this like 10-story, 20-story, 30-story building. So in a way, you guys built this clown up to be the way he is. And now he's just too cocky and arrogant and wants you guys to think that he's a high value man. No, you are nothing without the people that actually supported you. If the backbone actually falls apart, see, this is what happens. He's not a real business. He's not like a Fortune 500 company. He's just a YouTube influencers and depends heavily on viewers and subscribers. If the viewers and subscribers fall off, there is no damn building. All right? You guys built this guy up, and now he's just, oh, I'm different than you guys. You guys are normal. I'm a high value man. It's like, you ain't shit without the viewers and subscribers. Get that through your little brain.
called high valued, and why did they just walk in my house like that? So I had to learn a couple of things about myself, and self-awareness is very real. So at first, when I got out of the relationship with royalty, I didn't have any self-awareness, and I didn't know about not utilizing my anger as a weapon, and I didn't know about being a high valued individual. I just knew how to make money, and that's the hustler in me. A lot of us are great hustlers, and a lot of us are good at probably running a business, but a lot of us still don't understand what it means to be a true high valued individual. And that's why I said in the beginning, it's more than money and success. I've already named over 3 steps to being a high valued individual that aren't having money or success. My next thing I want to talk about is self-improvement. I've already kind of touched on that a little bit, but like I said, after they broke into my house, I started to make improvements in my life. I moved, and then I moved again. But that is just something I felt like I had to do to keep everyone guessing, where does he really live? You know, because you really don't know who knows where you live, because in today's time, anyone can screenshot anything and put it on Google Images and find where you live. I'm just telling you the truth. And in the social media platform where we love to just show what we do and show and incorporate you guys with our everyday life, it's kind of hard to actually like watch everything. But it is actually easy to self-improve because you have so many people telling you what you're doing wrong. And even though some of them might be trolls, some of it is actually constructive criticism, and I can learn from it. So self-improving is one of the most important parts to become.
So the people in the comments are trolls, but the people in your network have been indicted. The ones that you call mentors and coaches. And I mean, don't get it wrong, because some people make bad choices in life, and then they learn from their mistakes. So like I always believe in giving people a second and third opportunity or a second chance at life. But when you have a person like CJ So Cool that just kind of want to put people in buckets, like the normal people bucket and the high value bucket, it just wants to categorize people. Like people like that, you got to be careful of, all right? Because they just want to create this like tier, you know, like he's on the top and you guys are all on the bottom, but you didn't get to the top by yourself. You didn't create successful businesses because you are such a like you just have all the tricks up your sleeves or whatever. No, you got there because of the people that support you, the subscribers, the supporters, the followers. And once they're eliminated from the equation, there is no CJ So Cool. I just don't understand that. Maybe he doesn't get it because he thinks like, oh, okay, I'm all the way at the top now. It's going to be harder to fall. No, it's actually going to be pretty easy to fall once you're at the top, all right? Because at the top, there's not a whole lot of ground space. At the bottom, there's a whole lot of ground space. All right, there's more space to walk around. At the top, there's not a whole lot of... The fall is much quicker. All right, so this is what I mean. Like, sometimes I feel like CJ... I think in this video, he's kind of like talking through third party. I don't get it, really. I feel like this guy has like multiple personalities. That's just kind of the vibes I'm getting.
A high valued individual if you aren't already. And even if you are a high valued individual, you can still improve yourself on a day-to-day basis. That might involve a little prayer here and there. That might involve some positive thinking, some meditation, maybe some yoga. That might involve some therapy. You never know, but a lot of things can be done for self-improvement, but they all tie into making yourself a high valued individual. A lot of times I've been known to say things on video, and a lot of people have known me to be truthful in what I say because I like to say what I mean, and I like to stay true to my word. So the next step to being a high valued individual is always staying true to your word. No one likes anyone that's always lying. If you can't be trusted by your word, then you can't be trusted at all, because really that's all you have.
CJ, please cut it out. Cut it out, CJ. What you just said, man, there's so many times you said things on video, so many times you've said different things, and then it's almost like he forgets it. I don't know, that maybe he's not a liar. Maybe he's just forgetful of what he says sometimes. I don't know, but I could easily name like 5-6 different instances or different things he said on video that like, just even take the Lexi relationship. Everything the whole picture that he painted about Lexi for months, telling you guys how beautiful it is, how incredibly talented she is, how she adds so much value to him, her input, her network. Isn't that a high value woman? At least that's what you're describing. So in the way you described it her and painted the picture to be, you painted a picture of a high value woman, and now you're like tearing up that picture. So we can't really like trust. How do you trust the painter that painted the picture that this person was perfect, and now he's saying, oh, that person is not perfect? It's like there's got to be something wrong with the painter that's painting this picture. And I would get it if this was like one person that maybe was like kind of like a con artist that fooled them. But when you're seeing like example after example after example, and now we find out that his manager, according to his Instagram page, has a crazy, past, and the paperwork is out there. So it's not like you guys can see the paperwork. So when you're talking about example after example after example, then there's got to be something wrong with the painter that's painting these pictures. So CJ, stop painting these pictures. Stop with all this like coaching guru type shit you're doing now, because this is like, it's giving me the vibes of like a guru of some sort. Like you want to preach about high value man this, high value man that, and what it takes, the characteristics, the qualities, and how you can find yourself in a similar position like him, and what things to avoid. It's just like, it's giving me these like fake guru vibes or whatever. Like, stick to that family content. Stop. Don't be one of those gurus online. There's already too many people in that guru space. And then eventually they start selling books. They start transitioning into selling something, some kind of product to their followers and subscribers. Please avoid finding yourself or moving or transitioning yourself into that kind of guru space or whatever. Or who knows, maybe this is just like one of those videos that he just wanted to put out there because he had no content. Like, if you guys remember, he took a stab at trying to be like Mr. Beast, giving out money and all that, and then he did it for like maybe a couple videos and then stopped. Like, sometimes he has like these like kind of like these copycat type content like to other successful channels, and then he just kind of like backs out of it. He goes back to his normal type of content. So who knows, this guru type style content might just be temporarily until he figures out all the issues that are going on with Lexi in the background, or maybe with royalty. And this could just be another video just to put up because he has no content.
You show me what you say is real, then I'm going to believe you. So definitely remember that part. And becoming a high valued individual, you're going to have to remember that. The next part I want to talk about is actually something that I'm still going through, but I know that I'm doing better at it, which is improving my mental health. A lot of you guys have said a lot of things about me. I remember the Ruby Rose situation after royalty breakup. I remember times when people thought I was going back to my ex Nike, and then I flew my other ex Samantha out for an interview. A lot of times people were questioning my mental health, and even I had to question it after reading so many comments, and I found out that my mental health was absolutely damaged, and I needed to do some things, and I did. All right, what I did was I looked in the mirror and I had long talks with myself. I actually hired a mentor to help guide me and to try to correct things that I was doing.
Hey, CJ, I look, man, I hope that mentor isn't that guy Greg. Please tell me that's not the mentor, because boy, it's just like, it's almost like he's getting out of like, it's just like he dug himself into one hole. Well, I that's according to him. That relationship with Lexi was a big hole that he fell into. And it seems like as soon as he gets out of that hole, he's about to dig himself into another hole with another person that he claims is a mentor. So I sure hope this person, whoever this mentor is, isn't somebody that is wearing a costume of a mentor, pretending to be a mentor, but in reality, they're just out here trying to take your money. Because there's like so many people in disguise, like fooling people around, like pretending to be things they're really not. And I wish there was like a way we can find out. I mean, I guess you could find out if you do background checks, but I thought that's what he would normally do when he hires people like that, but I guess he didn't. So it just kind of tells me maybe he's not qualified in hiring people. Who knows exactly? Because he said Lexi was his assistant, and then she wasn't his assistant, then it was his girlfriend. So it's just like, it's like, wow. And we have somebody like that influencing others. Jesus.
Wrong, and honestly I can say it's been working for the most part. So I feel a lot better, and that's the only thing that matters. It's all about how you feel, and I know how I used to feel, and today I feel a lot better. Now everyone pretty much knows me for supporting my friends and supporting my family, and that is because if you can't do that, then you can never call yourself a high valued individual. More recently, I went back home to my hometown and I showed off my grandmother's house, and a lot of people didn't understand how I could become this individual who acted as a high valued individual but didn't bring everyone along. A lot of that has something to do with me, but a lot of that also has something to do with the family, and it's not all my fault. I will be a man and stand by my word and say, guess what? I could have made things right earlier and I didn't, but I'm here today making things right on a day-to-day basis. And my friends and family.
I mean, I kind of see what you're trying to say with your grandma's house, but when you ask people for an option. I don't understand why he didn't just go ahead and build her a house. If you make so much money like that, I mean, if you spent $300,000 on this girl, I mean, you could have easily built your grandmother a house a long time ago. There's no need for you to show up there at her old house that's falling apart. Clearly is falling apart. And usually grandparents or parents in general don't want things from their own children or grandchildren. But why not just surprise her? Why couldn't you just take her, blindfold her, and say, hey, I got you this house. This is your house now. Why does it have to be, we're going to come here and renovate your house, and my best friend right here, he's in the HVAC business. He's involved with all these businesses, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and hopefully we're going to turn it around. It's like all that politician talking shit, it's just garbage. All right. How about you put some action to it? We don't want to hear you talk about it and the plan is going to be this, and then hopefully we're going to do this and convert it out, roll it out eventually with the help of the city, because you didn't need the help of the city to spoil your ex at this point. All right. How about you actually put some action behind it? You claim to be a multimillionaire and all that bullshit you be preaching. How about you put some action behind it? And we're talking about your own grandmother here. It's like, this is embarrassing. You embarrassed the crap out of your grandmother. It's crazy.
Are more important to me than ever. I've always shown that with family, but now I have my friends, my close circle, my team. They're all fed. They're all comfortably living around me. No one has to feel like they don't like being around or they dread coming to work or my environment is a daily situation. Everybody loves being around, and everyone can either learn something from me or gain something positive at the end of the day of each day. And that is how it should be. Friends and family first over everything. A lot of you guys and women out there have been known to say crazy things on my Instagram post, and it would appear to some that maybe I have some insecurities, and facing my insecurities was a major role in becoming a high-valued individual, because a lot of you out there, you may act and walk around like you're all good, but on the inside, you're all facing your own personal insecurities, and you don't know how to cope with them on a day-to-day basis. And I was too, doing the same thing. I had the dreadlocks. I was wondering, should I comb them out? How am I going to look? Is my hair going to look shorter? Am I going to look crazy? Are people going to laugh at me? If I cut my hair after 10 million, what am I going to look like? A lot of stuff was happening, and it's still happening in my life that I would consider an insecurity that I have already overcame. For instance, when I combed out my dreads, I literally made a video and posted on YouTube the process, which was a very, very crazy and hard thing for me to do, being that I care about how I look and how I'm perceived online. And then I just went out there and could have made myself a meme of the century, but instead, after getting my hair braided and showing the length, that actually became a meme. But it's just crazy, the world we live in today, everyone has insecurities because you don't want to be a meme. But at the end of the day, being a meme isn't as bad as it seems, because it can also bring revenue. And more recently, Kai Cenat has made me a meme with the Tired song, and it was already a meme, but Kai is super big and major, and he's actually added value to that, and now the meme is taking off worldwide. I literally can't walk outside without being approached with I be popping bottles, sparkles, and champagne. Like, it's crazy, right? But I'm not insecure about it anymore, so now I have two chimed in on the meme, which is how I'm able to show you guys that I'm not just talking here, I'm actually living in it. I don't care about any insecurities. I have already accepted the fact that if I'm a high-valued individual, insecurities don't exist in my life. One of the more important parts of this video, and one of the obvious portions to being a...
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just getting the vibe that he's reading a script. It's like a rap sheet or something. Like, he's rapping it. Like, dude, like take a moment, like pause, like, because it just sounds like a politician's script to me. You know what I mean? He's talking too fast. He's got all the right words in the speech. You know, somebody really sat there and wrote that beautiful speech for him to say on video. They got him to sit down on, if you guys watch how politicians do shit like this to become emotionally attached to you so that you can vote them in, and then once they're voted in, they don't give two shits about you. They barely come see your city anymore. But when they're trying to get your votes, they're obviously trying to do all this bullshit speeching. It's just like, that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting. And I mean, I could be wrong, and then this is just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. You guys are entitled to your own opinion. You can voice it in the comment section. But when people talk that damn fast, I don't know, it sounds like a script to me, folks.
Valued individual is financial responsibility, and everyone should know by now that not even just being a YouTuber, just being the head of a household itself, like, you don't have to be famous or rich, just being the leader in your household has a heavy financial responsibility that comes behind that. You cannot be the crown holder, the king, or the master, or the lieutenant, or the commanding officer if you're not taking on that load of financial responsibility. So of course, I already been doing that for years. I didn't have to work on that, but that is a very important part to becoming this high valued individual. So I had to tell you guys about that. Yes, money is very important. So if you're not making making a lot, at least you should be saving a lot. If you're not saving a lot, at least you should be focusing on your credit to try to build. And if you're not focusing on your credit to try to build, you're just totally just messed up in this world. So either you fix your credit, you fix your bank account, or you fix your business so that all three of those go together, or you just don't even consider yourself a high-valued individual. The biggest one for me that I had to change was realizing that becoming a high-valued individual means that you really don't care about what people say. You're not a people pleaser anymore. You only solely do things for your family, yourself, and your friends. You don't move based off of how people are going to perceive you, which goes back into some of the other topics, like my hair, for instance.
Well, right there, that might not work for you. All right. He says he doesn't care what other people think. But that kind of matters when it comes to social media. I thought you are the social media expert. So if you're publishing content that no one really truly gives a shit about, then that means the numbers ain't going to be right. And if the numbers ain't right, then the money ain't going to be right. So that kind of messes up every other quality that you have just explained or talked about when it comes to high value man. So I don't know that this really truly, and this is why I always said, if you guys want to listen to somebody that actually knows about high value man and actually has worked with people like that, like Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to him, was the one that kind of talked about this. And he's always excluded, if I'm not mistaken, like celebrities, social media figures out of this stuff, because this stuff is like, it's like predictable on many levels. And it's predictable because they generate the story. But if you work a career or whatever, then yeah, it's like if you're not even like some like a doctor or a lawyer, because those depend heavily on reputation, depend heavily on what people think about them. But if you're like in a position that doesn't really deal all that much with the crowd or an audience or anybody watching them on a like a regular basis, then yeah, at that point it doesn't really matter what other people think about you. But certain positions that's like excluded, that's exempt. Like if you're a doctor, your reputation matters. If you're a lawyer, that reputation matters. So if people are talking shit about you, that kind of matters. Same thing with social media. Like, so I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel like CJ's talking through a third party or he's acting. I really don't know what it is. But hopefully he doesn't continue in this genre or continue in this dropping these like guru, I call him guru. I feel I'm getting like guru vibes from this. But this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts, folks.
If I was still worried about how people would take me combing out my dreads and walking around looking all crazy, I would have never made that video, which would have prevented me from making the money from that video. I've already like mastered this. I'm just letting you guys know that it's another one of those major opponents to becoming a high-valued individual. Another big role of being a high-valued individual is some of us have to learn that we have to take color out of everything. There's no such thing as black. There's no such thing as white. They're all the same thing. And that's why I was able to date Lexi, even though my ex before Lexi was like totally against that. But I had to learn that it's no problem with black or white. I can now date a white person. I can date a black person, an Asian, a Jamaican, an African. It doesn't matter about color, because color is just the outside. And what's in here really determines how you're going to be perceived. It doesn't matter.
So it's a good thing that he just said that color doesn't matter, right? What matters is he's like kind of like pointing to the heart. All right. Well, that's the same thing when you talk about high value man and normal man, or normal people and high value people. They're the same people. Some people they might have a lot of money, and that kind of puts them in the high value bucket, but they might not have any knowledge. They might not know how to handle money. They might not be a people person. They might have other bad qualities. So it's just like, I don't like when people place people in buckets like that. And you could be a high value man without money, but a good network of people around you, but you can still have other flaws. So it's just like, what's the point of saying this person is high value and this person is a normal person? Like, they're both just regular. They're just people. Why can't people just be people? Why do you have to say, oh, I'm a high value man? I don't want to, like, high value man isn't going to change anything. If you think you're going to be in a perfect relationship, that shit ain't going to happen. I feel like that's kind of like what he's trying to paint, that he's looking for that perfect type of relationship or that perfect environment or whatever. You being high value ain't going to change nothing. All right, you're still going to have the same problems. It just might be a different type of problem than a normal person's problems. That's all that's really going to change. So this is actually the comment. where he said, I was there for Lexi through all of that too. I paid her $300,000 in under 6 months before I realized I was the one being used. So take that hate somewhere else. So now it's hate, but you chose her because she does it better. It's like, it's crazy, man. It's not even worth explaining at this point. I'm going to leave it to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching.